Have you ever stood by the ocean and watched a wave build itself from nothing, gathering strength from the deep, rising into a magnificent, sunlit crest, only to collapse into foam and surrender back to the sea? In that single moment, you witness the entire story of existence, a story of arising and passing away. This is not a tragedy. It is a truth, and learning to read this truth in every corner of our lives is the beginning of awakening. It is the path to finding an unshakable peace, right in the heart of a world that never stops changing. We spend so much of our lives building castles, castles of career, of relationships, of identity. We lay each brick with such care, such intention. This brick is a memory of a perfect summer afternoon. Golden light slanting through the trees, the sound of laughter echoing. We hold it. We polish it. We place it in the wall of our fortress, believing it will stay there forever. This brick is a promotion, a title, a recognition of our worth. It feels so solid in our hands, so real. We cement it into place with pride, a testament to our effort. Another brick is the love we feel for someone, a bond that feels eternal, unbreakable, a shelter from the storms of the world. We build the walls high to protect what is inside, to keep things just as they are. We become architects of permanence in a world that knows none. And then, the tide comes in. It does not ask for permission. It does not care about the effort we've invested, or the love we've poured into our creation. The water laps at the foundation, gently at first. Then, with more insistence, a small crack appears in the wall. A relationship drifts apart. A job is lost. A memory begins to fade, its vibrant colors turning to sepia. Our first instinct is to panic, to scramble, to rebuild faster than the tide can erode. We try to hold the sand in our fists, but it just slips through our fingers, grain by relentless grain. This struggle, this desperate, white-knuckled clinging to what was, is the source of our deepest suffering. It is the friction between our desire for a static world and the fluid, unstoppable reality of life itself. We fight the current, and we grow exhausted. We curse the wave, and we miss the beauty of its brief, brilliant existence. We believe that happiness lies in the preservation of the castle, in keeping every brick perfectly in place. But the Zen masters, the wise ones who have sat by this ocean for centuries, they offer a different path. They suggest that true peace is not found in building a stronger fortress against the tide, but in learning to appreciate the sand itself, in understanding the nature of the waves, and in finding the courage to let go of the castle, again, and again, and again. This isn't an act of nihilism or despair. It is an act of profound liberation. It is the realization that our home is not the castle, but the entire shoreline, the sand, the water, the sky, the constant, rhythmic dance of creation and dissolution. We suffer because we mistake a single, fleeting form for the whole of reality. We fall in love with one wave and spend our lives mourning its inevitable return to the ocean, forgetting that the ocean itself is what gave birth to the wave and will give birth to countless more, each one unique, each one beautiful, each one temporary. The Buddha called this fundamental nature of reality asterisk, anicca, asterisk, impermanence. It is not a pessimistic doctrine or a sorrowful truth to be endured. It is simply a description of how things are. Look at the clouds drifting across the sky. They form, they shift, they dissolve, never holding the same shape for more than a moment. Is a cloud's existence tragic because it does not last, or is its beauty found precisely in its ephemeral, ever-changing dance? Look at the flame of a candle. It is not a static thing. It is a process, a constant, flickering transformation of wax and wick into light and heat. The flame you see now is not the same flame you saw a second ago. It is continuously dying and being reborn in the same instant. Our very bodies are like this candle flame. The cells that compose us are constantly being replaced. The person you were 7 years ago, physically, no longer exists. The thoughts and feelings that arise in your mind are even more fleeting. A moment of joy, It comes, it shines, and it passes. A wave of sadness. It washes over you, and it recedes. We cause ourselves immense pain by trying to grasp the joy, to hold on to it, to make it permanent, and by pushing away the sadness, resisting it, trying to build a dam against its flow. Both actions are a form of fighting reality. Both are born from the misunderstanding that these states are solid, that they are times us asterisk. Zen practice invites us to simply sit with the flow, to observe the thoughts and emotions as if they were clouds in the sky of our awareness. We don't have to chase the fluffy white ones, or run from the dark, stormy ones. We can simply notice them. Ah, there is joy. Ah, there is sadness. By not clinging and not resisting, we rob them of their power to define us. They become what they truly are, impersonal, transient weather patterns in the vast space of the mind. This is not a cold detachment. It is the opposite. It is a radical intimacy with life as it unfolds. When you know that the beautiful sunset will fade, you watch it with more attention, more reverence. When you understand that a conversation with a loved one is a unique, unrepeatable moment, you listen more deeply. You are more present. The knowledge of impermanence, asterisk, anicca asterisk, does not drain the world of meaning. It infuses every single moment with an almost unbearable preciousness. It is a call to awaken right now, because this moment, this breath, this sensation will never come again in exactly the same way. It is a once-in-an-eternity event, and our suffering is the tax we pay for ignoring this simple, profound, and liberating truth. It is the cost of living in the memory of yesterday's castles, or in the fantasy of tomorrow's, while the tide of the present moment washes over our feet, unnoticed. The engine of this suffering, the mechanism that turns the neutral fact of impermanence into personal pain, is attachment. In Sanskrit, it is called times upadana asterisk, which literally means to fuel or to feed upon. It is the mind's habit of grasping, of clinging, of identifying with things that are inherently transient. This process is subtle, and it happens in the blink of an eye. It begins with a simple perception, seeing a beautiful flower. Then comes feeling. A pleasant sensation arises from that perception. And, right here, at this critical juncture, the mind makes a fateful move. Instead of simply allowing the pleasant feeling to be what it is, a fleeting experience, it grasps it. It says, I like this. I want more of this. My happiness depends on this. The mind then creates a story, a narrative. This flower makes me happy. Suddenly, the flower is no longer just a flower. It has become a condition for our well-being. We have attached our peace of mind to an object that is, by its very nature, destined to wilt and decay. We do this with everything. We attach to people, believing our happiness is contingent upon their presence, their approval, their love. We attach to our possessions, our homes, our cars, believing they provide a stable sense of security and identity. We attach to our opinions, our beliefs, our ideas about who we are. I am a successful person. I am a kind person. I am an unlucky person. These are just stories, mental constructs, as ephemeral as clouds, but we cling to them as if they were solid ground. And so, when the ground inevitably shifts, we feel like we are falling apart. When the person leaves, when the car breaks down, when our success falters, when someone challenges our opinion, it feels like a personal attack, a threat to our very being, because we have mistaken the attachment for ourself. We have fused our identity with something outside of us, something impermanent. This is like building your house on the back of a sleeping tiger. It may feel stable for a while, but eventually, the tiger will move. The Zen path is not about ceasing to love people or ceasing to enjoy beautiful things. It is not about living an empty, sterile life, devoid of passion or connection. It is about changing the nature of our relationship with these things. It is about learning to love, to appreciate, to engage fully, but with an open hand, not a clenched fist. It's the difference between drinking from a flowing river and trying to capture the river in a bucket. When you drink from the river, you are nourished by its constant flow. You are part of its life. When you try to capture it in a bucket, the water becomes stagnant, separate, and you are left with only a dull reflection of the living thing. Attachment is the bucket. It isolates us from the flow of reality. It creates a false sense of a separate me who needs to acquire and protect things from the world in order to be happy. Mindfulness is the practice of seeing this process as it happens. It is watching the mind reach out to grasp, and gently, without judgment, inviting it to open its hand. It is the quiet recognition. This is pleasant, and it is passing. This is painful, and it is passing. In that recognition, there is freedom. This grasping, this attachment, is fueled by two powerful currents in the mind: craving and aversion. They are two sides of the same coin, two faces of the same fundamental resistance to reality. Craving, or times tanha asterisk, is the pull towards what is pleasant. It is the deep-seated thirst for more pleasure, more security, more validation. It is the voice that whispers, "If only I had that, then I would be happy. If only this moment could last forever." It is a perpetual state of insufficiency, of feeling that the present moment is somehow lacking. This craving is a relentless engine. Even when we get what we want, the satisfaction is fleeting. The new car becomes just a car. The thrill of the promotion fades into the daily grind of the new job. The mind, conditioned by craving, immediately starts looking for the next thing, the next hit of pleasure. It is a hunger that can never be truly satisfied, because it is not based on what we have, but on the very act of wanting itself. On the other side is aversion, or times devesha asterisk. This is the push away from what is unpleasant. It is the resistance to pain, to discomfort, to loss, to anything that threatens our carefully constructed comfort zone. We spend enormous amounts of energy trying to avoid difficult situations, avoiding difficult people, avoiding difficult emotions. When sadness arises, our immediate instinct is to suppress it, to distract ourselves, to numb it. When we experience failure, we react with anger or blame, pushing the painful feeling away. This constant pushing and pulling, craving and avoiding, is the source of our mental and emotional exhaustion. It is like being a small boat tossed about on a stormy sea, constantly reacting to the rise and fall of the waves, never finding a moment of stillness, of equilibrium. We are slaves to our own reactivity. The world presents a stimulus, something pleasant or unpleasant, and our mind reacts on autopilot, with a conditioned response of grasping or resisting. There is no space, no freedom between the stimulus and the response. The practice of mindfulness, particularly in the Zen tradition of times zazen asterisk, or seated meditation, is the creation of this space. By sitting still and simply observing the breath, by watching thoughts and sensations arise and pass away without reacting to them, we begin to weaken these conditioned reflexes. We see craving arise in the mind. We feel its pull, its seductive promise, and we learn to just watch it without acting on it. We see aversion arise. We feel its tightness, its fear, and we learn to just sit with it, to allow the discomfort to be there without pushing it away. In doing so, we discover something extraordinary. We discover that these powerful forces, craving and aversion, are just energy. They are just patterns of thought and sensation, as impermanent as everything else. They are not commands that must be obeyed. By observing them without judgment, we unhook ourselves from their power. We move from being a reactive slave to our impulses, to being a calm, centered observer of our own mind. This is the cultivation of true inner strength. It is not the strength to control the world, to make it conform to our desires, It is the strength to be at peace with the world, exactly as it is. It is the wisdom to know that joy and sorrow, gain and loss, praise and blame are simply the changing weather of life, and that our true home, our true refuge, is the calm, clear sky of awareness that lies behind it all. So how do we begin to loosen this grip, this lifelong, instinctual habit of clinging? The answer is both profoundly simple and the most challenging work we will ever do. We begin by turning our attention inward, to the one laboratory we have constant access to, the landscape of our own direct experience. This is the heart of mindfulness practice. It is not about escaping the world. It is about turning towards it with a new kind of attention. It is learning to watch the mind without getting caught in its stories. Think of your awareness as a vast, clear sky. Thoughts, feelings, sensations, they are the clouds. Some are white and fluffy, moments of happiness and ease. Some are dark and heavy, moments of anger, fear, or grief. Normally, we live our lives times the clouds. When a dark cloud appears, we become the storm. We are lost in the turbulence, the rain, the lightning. We believe the storm is all there is. Mindfulness is the practice of remembering that you are the sky, not the cloud. The sky is not harmed by the storm. It does not try to push the clouds away or cling to the sunny patches. It simply holds them all with an unconditional, spacious acceptance. This practice begins with the body, with the breath. You sit, and you feel the simple sensation of air entering your nostrils and leaving your nostrils. Inevitably, the mind will wander. It will drift into planning the future or replaying the past. This is not a failure. This is the moment of awakening. The moment you realize you have been lost in thought. You have already woken up, and in that moment, you have a choice. You can scold yourself, "I'm no good at this," and get lost in another story of self-judgment. Or you can gently, kindly, without any drama, guide your attention back to the breath, again, and again, and again. Each time you do this, you are strengthening a mental muscle. You are carving a new neural pathway. You are training the mind to be less reactive and more present. You are learning to rest in the sky of awareness, rather than being hijacked by every passing cloud. Then, you take this practice off the cushion and into your life. When you are washing the dishes, just wash the dishes. Feel the warmth of the water on your hands, the texture of the sponge, the sound of the plate. When a difficult emotion arises, like frustration or anxiety, you learn to meet it instead of run from it. You can pause, take a breath, and feel it in your body. Where is the anxiety? Is it a tightness in the chest? A knot in the stomach? You just observe it as pure sensation, without adding the story. "This is terrible. I can't stand this." You bring a gentle curiosity to your own inner world, and a strange thing happens. When you stop fighting with the emotion, when you allow it to be there, it often loses its power. It flows through you, like a wave, and passes. This is not about being passive or weak. It is the source of incredible strength. It is the courage to be with life, as it is, in all its messy, unpredictable, and beautiful reality. This practice of mindful observation inevitably brings us face to face with the core architect of our suffering, the ego, the sense of a solid, separate I. This I is the storyteller. It is the voice in our head that is constantly narrating our life, judging our experiences, comparing ourselves to others, and building the identity we cling to so fiercely. I am the one who was wronged. I am the one who succeeded. I need to protect myself. This sense of self feels so real, so fundamental. But through the lens of impermanence, we begin to see it for what it is. It is another mental construct, another cloud passing through the sky of awareness. Think about it. Your body is constantly changing. Your thoughts are an endless stream. No single thought defines you. Your emotions are in constant flux. Your roles in life, son, daughter, parent, employee, they shift and change. So where is this permanent, unchanging I that we are so desperate to protect and promote. The Zen masters would say it is nowhere to be found. The self is not a noun. It is a verb. It is a process, a pattern of habits, a collection of memories, constantly being reassembled from moment to moment. Letting go of attachment is ultimately about letting go of our rigid identification with this story of me. This can be terrifying. The ego will fight back. It will scream. If I let go, I will disappear. I will be nothing. It feels like a death. And in a way, it is. It is the death of a false idea. It is the dismantling of a prison we have built for ourselves. What lies beyond this fear is not a void. It is not nothingness. It is freedom. It is the expansive, interconnected reality that the ego's walls have been hiding from us. It is the realization that you are not just the wave. You are the entire ocean. This doesn't happen all at once. It is a gradual softening, a gentle letting go, layer by layer. It happens when you choose not to react to a provocation, creating a space of calm instead of a cycle of anger. It happens when you can feel joy for another's success, without the ego's sting of comparison or jealousy. It happens when you can experience failure or criticism and see it not as an indictment of your entire being, but simply as an event, a piece of information, a wave passing. You begin to take yourself less seriously. You see the grand drama of your personal story, and you can smile at it. There is a lightness, a humor, a deep peace in this. It is the peace of no longer having to defend a fragile fortress. It is the strength of no longer being afraid of the tide. You are learning to dance with impermanence rather than fight it. And in that dance, you discover a stability that is not dependent on anything staying the same. It is the stability of the open sky, of the deep ocean, the unwavering presence of awareness itself. As we practice, as we consistently turn toward our experience with this gentle, non-judgmental awareness, something remarkable begins to blossom. This is the birth of wisdom, or in Sanskrit, asterisk, prajna, asterisk. This is not the wisdom of books, or the accumulation of facts. It is a deep, intuitive seeing into the nature of reality. It is the direct, embodied understanding of impermanence, asterisk anicca, asterisk, and the interconnectedness of all things. Wisdom is what transforms the intellectual concept of everything changes into a living, breathing truth that informs our every action. With wisdom, you begin to see the world differently. You look at a flower, and you don't just see a beautiful object. You see the sun, the rain, the soil, the entire universe converging in that one momentary expression of life. You see its fragility, its impending decay, and this doesn't make it less beautiful. It makes it infinitely more precious. You interact with another person, and you see beyond the surface-level personality, beyond the roles and the masks. You see a fellow being who, just like you, is caught in the currents of craving and aversion, a being who is seeking happiness and trying to avoid suffering. This seeing is the root of true compassion, asterisk karuna asterisk. Compassion is not pity. It is the recognition of our shared condition. When you understand that the anger directed at you from another person comes from their own pain, their own attachments, their own fear, it becomes much harder to take it personally. You can respond with clarity and firmness if needed, but without the poison of hatred or resentment. You see their struggle, and your heart softens. This wisdom also cultivates a profound resilience. When life throws its inevitable challenges at you, a loss, a sickness, a disappointment, you still feel the pain. Wisdom is not a bypass for human emotion, but the pain does not become your entire identity. You see it as a wave, powerful, yes, but also passing. You know that the storm will not last forever. You have touched the sky of awareness within you, and you know that it is your true refuge, a place of stillness that the storm cannot touch. This is like being a great, ancient tree. The seasons change. In spring, there is new growth, new leaves, new life. In summer, there is fullness and vibrancy. In autumn, the leaves turn brilliant colors and then let go, falling to the ground. In winter, the branches are bare, exposed, seemingly lifeless. The tree does not cling to the summer or despair in the winter. It stands with deep roots, grounded in the earth, allowing the seasons to flow through it, knowing that each phase is a natural, necessary part of the whole cycle. Our mindfulness practice is the process of growing these deep roots. Our wisdom is the quiet, unshakable knowing in the trunk of the tree, that even in the harshest winter, the spring will come again. This is the inner strength that the world cannot take away from you, because it is not dependent on external conditions. It is a peace that comes from aligning yourself with the truth of how things are. This alignment, this integration of seeing things as they are, is the path to a state the Buddha called times upekkha*, equanimity. This is the final synthesis, the culmination of the journey. Equanimity is not indifference or apathy. It is not a stony, unfeeling state. It is a spacious, balanced heart, a mind that is open and receptive to the entirety of life, without being thrown off balance by its constant changes. It is the ability to walk through the world with an open heart, fully engaged, fully alive, but with a deep, quiet center that remains undisturbed. It is the peace of the mountain, which remains still whether it is bathed in sunlight or battered by storms. It is the clarity of a deep lake, whose surface may be rippled by the wind, but whose depths remain calm and clear. With equanimity, you can experience the 8 worldly winds without being swept away by them. These are pleasure and pain, gain and loss, praise and blame, fame and disrepute. Our ordinary, unawakened life is a constant chase after one side of these pairs and a desperate flight from the other. We are ecstatic when we are praised and crushed when we are blamed. We feel on top of the world when we gain something, and in the depths of despair when we lose it. Our happiness is a fragile thing, completely at the mercy of external events. Equanimity is the liberation from this roller coaster. It is the ability to receive praise without it inflating the ego, to receive blame without it crushing the spirit, to experience gain with gratitude but without clinging, and to experience loss with sadness but without devastation. You see all of these experiences for what they are: impersonal, impermanent conditions. They are visitors who come to the house of your mind. They stay for a while, and then they leave. You can be a gracious host to all of them, without mistaking any one of them for the owner of the house. This is not a final destination you arrive at one day. It is a continuous practice, a way of being. There will still be moments when you get caught, when you cling, when you resist, but the moments of remembering, of coming back to center, become more and more frequent. The gaps of peace become wider. The reactivity becomes softer. You learn to live with a sense of graceful surrender, not a surrender of defeat, but a surrender to the magnificent, unstoppable flow of life itself. You stop fighting the river, and you learn to swim. You stop cursing the waves, and you realize you are the ocean. This is the gift of seeing impermanence not as a threat, but as a teacher. It is the guide that leads us home, to the unshakable peace and wisdom that is our true nature. The journey does not require a grand pilgrimage. It does not demand that you change the world. It asks for only one thing: that you be fully present for this one, single, precious breath. Right now, the entire path is contained in this moment. The past is a memory. The future is a dream. Only this is real. Come back home to the here and now, and you will find the peace you have been searching for, has been waiting for you all along.